I'm sure you've already looked for Harry Potter podcasts everywhere.
Notam Seção Reservada.
Every time we do this opening, you know how I feel? I feel like Harry with the invisibility cloak and just his little hand sticking out of the lantern. With the little lantern like this, you know?
I used to get really scared in the scene where the book opens. Wow.
Have you seen the meme where the book opens like this and Melody comes out doing falsetto? No. When she used to do that.
It won't match with the egg anymore. That golden egg, you know? Back when it opens in the common room. No, the Russian guy singing there. Tarararara, man.
So I like the Harry Potter memes, and they gave me some good laughs.
I think it's worth doing an episode here about the best Harry Potter memes. Man, I love people's creativity. It's amazing. It's good. It's good.
By the way, should we give everyone the mission of sending us some super creative memes?
I think so. Either send it by DM or, I don't know, send it to us however you want on Twitter, anywhere.
Don't send it by mail. That's tough.
Then the meme arrives. The GIF.
To reveal, the GIF is like lifting the page up like this. Look. No.
But it's really good, man. I have a lot of fun, you know?
I love it.
Not just Harry Potter memes, everything. I don't think so.
Life needs memes.
No, it does. Life needs to be a little fun, guys. This episode is coming out on Calderon Furado, and now you can help out here. You are reserved. Go ahead and like the video right at the start. It's important to watch on YouTube. Give it a like before you forget. If you're listening to us on Spotify, here's some information just for you, okay?
Information.
We at Seção Reservada have reached over 200,000 streams and downloads here. Look. And we're still being rated 5 stars, man.
That's really awesome, right? So,
thanks to those of you who listen to us on Spotify too. Go ahead and leave that 5-star rating. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
The QR code for Memento Berador is always on the screen. You can scan it with your phone, on your TV, wherever you're watching. And send your message, because at the end of every episode, we'll read the messages you send. Let's go.
Memento Berador, and I'm happy, Tiago. Do you know why? On Seção Reservada, we chat here, we talk. And I feel like we're really talking with everyone. Do you understand?
I like it, and everyone does too, because they say, man, it keeps me company on Friday nights. Now I can have dinner. Now I can wash the dishes.
I saw someone commenting that sometimes they answer along with us as if they were talking with us.
Talking.
Right there at the same table, but you are here with us.
Who knows? Maybe we'll do an episode here with a couple of subscribers participating. Wouldn't that be really cool? There's a
girl who comments on every Seção Reservada episode. I always see her there. It's really cool because she comments while she's watching. So she writes, at minute so-and-so, I agree. At minute so-and-so, I agree. I think that's really cool. So thanks for keeping us company, everyone. We're getting close to 40 episodes. And look, we're at a point where I don't even know when this episode will come out. Who knows? Maybe there will be some news by the time this episode is released.
We're recording this episode on June 1st.
July. Providing context helps.
We've entered the month of Harry Potter's birthday. Yeah, and also Neville Longbottom's, right? Poor guy, he's always forgotten. Neville's is on the 30th and Harry's is on the 31st.
I always forget Neville, seriously.
Congrats, guys. Happy birthday, Harry. But Neville's was the day before.
Like, did you see the Harry Potter page when it's Draco Malfoy's birthday? Draco takes over.
Down there.
Draco turned into Neville.
Poor thing.
Wow. But let's hope Neville gets his moment of glory in this series.
We'll make a little cake for him.
No, please, sing happy birthday to Neville.
I'm going to sing happy birthday.
But look, I think the birthday looks promising because besides the birthday, we're also going to have San Diego Comic-Con right after the World Cup ends, right? Because I'm still kind of in World Cup mode.
Go, Brazil!
Look, by the time this episode comes out, we might have already won or lost to Norway.
Look, I'm feeling hopeful. I think we're going to make Norway row their last stroke. They're rowing home. That's it. Here, it's like this. Yeah, go.
Go. Can you imagine how many memes will be made of those guys rowing home? In the last episode, I said Neymar would come in the second half and score. No.
He came in, didn't score a goal. We won. What a game, huh? That was nerve-wracking, my God.
Wow, no. Actually, I think I said that Neymar would score a goal in the game against Scotland. It was still the group stage.
No, and Katarina likes Vinny Jr., right? Yeah.
Then I said, hey kid, is Vinny Jr. going to score a goal today? She said, no, he's old.
Man, poor Vinny Jr., yeah.
I think she saw that commercial where he shows up as a wizard for Beth.
There, you know?
By the way, guys, Beth 36, I'm just kidding.
No.
On this channel, a sponsor would be nice for us.
But look,
Let's get to the point.
I'm freezing here.
Kako, you made some deal I don't know about.
Kako, for God's sake. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Come on, hold on.
Okay, here's the context. Let's give some context for today's episode because today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. We picked out 50 statements. Can I call them statements? I can call them statements, right? It's like they are
Right? Yeah, let's say they're statements that we...
make, and we say whether we agree or not.
And talk about it.
And talk about it, which is the most interesting part of the episode. So I can already see the title of the episode, 50 Controversial Statements. Let's see. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Wow, and now I'm seeing her talking about Holland, right? You watched Dragon Ball, right? You did? Uh-huh. They're making him into Majin Buu. I think it's really cool, man. Holland scares me, man. Imagine this guy at my house, Holland outside, knocking, making noise.
I like that one where he walks away. It looks like Woody Woodpecker grabbing the chicken.
Yeah, that's the one. Wow, man.
But let's talk about our statements here. Would you like to add more context? I got distracted because my friend Galdino, shout out to Galdino, just messaged me that he bought the Draco Malfoy from Inart. Do you have it? It just came out.
Wow.
He already bought it. He bought it. He was like, hey man, I bought it. No, it didn't just come out. It just became available because it was announced for pre-order. I'm going to file a complaint. Can I?
Yes, you can.
A bunch of crooks.
The collector? No. Does he sell the collectibles?
Here's what the guys do. Guys, Inart is like top tier in the collectibles world, right?
And are these licensed?
They're licensed. All of them are licensed. So what happens? They open pre-orders. They don't sell. They don't ship to the West. Like, they just don't ship,
You have to get it there normally.
right? And then what happens? They open the pre-sale. People buy it like in seconds. I swear to you, the items sell out in seconds. And then they already put them up for sale on eBay for double the price. You know? So, like, the only way.
On the InArt website?
There's no way.
No way. Not enough time? Not at this level?
There's no time. I swear to you, there's just no time.
How many pieces do you think there are?
I don't know how many pieces there are. Maybe 1,000 pieces. It's limited, but man, it's crazy. Like, on the InArt website, it's $400. They sell it for $800 on eBay.
Yeah. And is it the Draco from Sorcerer's Stone? Yeah, man, they're all from Sorcerer's Stone. From Sorcerer's Stone, yeah. They're all from Sorcerer's Stone.
From Sorcerer's Stone, did you see Harry Capizzo?
Hey, play some clips of Kako opening it while we talk about InArt just to give people some context, because these InArt collectibles, man, when you opened up the details, I think that caught my attention the most.
Is that the one with the moving eyes? Dude, Draco's eyes move too. Is it a magnet? It's a magnet. Harry's is still manual. You have to remove the back of the head and adjust it inside. But the newer ones, yeah.
Chocolate Frog, it comes with this. It comes with the wand in that little box. Dude,
It's strange, right? Another one came out and it's still cheap.
for what it is, okay? Like $400. No, come on. $400 is cheap.
Yeah, no, like,
What I mean is what? 2,000 reais?
yeah, for the level of detail on the guy's website, right? Then people sell it.
They jack up the price, right? Yeah.
Yeah, now it's out. There's another one from a different brand called JND Studios, which is made of silicone.
You see videos of people squeezing it like this. I noticed that.
I thought people made those like, I don't know, with a 3D printer, those ones you squeeze, you know?
It's also licensed. But let's get to our statements. The first statement, here we go. My dear Tiago.
There are 50, there will be 50.
50 statements, okay. The first statement. I feel like I'm in that debate. Expert against 20 idiots, you know? I'm an idiot.
no, come on.
Why did they say that?
Let's go.
I'm an idiot. No.
Sorry, right?
He called himself an idiot and keeps apologizing.
That was a good one.
First statement. The series should completely change the look of the spells.
I completely agree. Am I supposed to agree? Is that it?
The episode is over. No, you say whatever you want. No.
I agree. No, I agree, and I'll say more. I think it's not just the look of the spells. There's already kind of this theory that each spell will have its own gesture, right? A different gesture. We even see in the documentary, Hermione, she casts a spell in Transfiguration class, and she's doing it, man, like Naruto, right?
It's jutsu, right? It's jutsu.
And it's cool. I think everything that's added and different from the movies, I appreciate it.
So you agree?
I agree. I think so. The spells should have a different look.
And the different look, besides the movements, the look, like, let's add the magical look to it.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. For example, Avada Kedavra. I know it's described as a jet of green light, for example, but I think you can make it look more cinematic, right? Because the series kind of, everything comes from naturalism. Everything still goes that way. But I think when it comes to the spells, it's cool to add that bigger special effect.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has to change too. And I especially think they really need to explore the difference between one spell and another. Because I don't know if you get that impression.
Guys, those of you who are watching, listening, I don't know if you get the impression that, like, the spells all seem really similar in the movies, you know? Like, Expelliarmus, for example.
I think Expelliarmus is cast at several moments in the movies, and it seems like each time it's different.
They're different spells. Yeah. So I think, man, it really has to be different, both in the added movements and in the visual effects of the spells. Obviously, Avada Kedavra is a green jet of light, like you mentioned, and it's always going to be a green jet of light, but it can be enhanced, right? With movement or something like that. You know?
One of my favorite spell visuals is in the Dueling Club in Chamber of Secrets. I think that when Snape casts Expelliarmus and something really comes out here, and then Harry casts Expelliarmus at Severus, he flies onto the bed, you just have everything. It seems like every spell turns into Reducto in the movie.
Yeah, it seems like everything is kind of a fight, right? Everything is kind of a fight.
Exactly, the Bombarda spell that Hermione casts there, yes.
There doesn't seem to be much difference between them, right? No.
I don't feel that way, so I think this edition is cool and valid.
All right then, let's move on to our next one on the list here.
The next statement on the list already starts off like that.
Here it comes, right off the bat.
Harry should end up with Hermione.
Nope. No, that statement doesn't make sense, okay? I mean, I've learned not to judge people who imagine these things. I judge. But I do think imagination is valid, but no, I don't think it fits. I think Harry and Hermione have more of a sibling dynamic. And you, what do you think?
No, wow man, never. I really don't think they should end up together.
I think they just don't go together. There's zero romantic chemistry. I really think they have that vibe of friends, siblings, you know? And I don't think at any moment, really, I never felt that Harry would end up with Hermione or have any feelings for Hermione like that, you know? Uh-huh. Never. Really, never. So, to me, it even sounds weird.
But one of my favorite things about Harry Potter was always seeing the evolution book by book, and especially the relationships starting to develop, right? And I really hope that in the series, obviously not in the first season because they're just 11-year-old kids, but starting from Prisoner when they're about 13 to see some,
That it happens naturally, like it does in real life. Yeah, right? Like, these bonds just happen. Even as a kid, didn't you ever have a little crush when you were a child? Yeah, that's normal, it happens. It doesn't have to be kids making out or kissing, that's not it.
I think the kids in the show think about that. Like, for example, Alistair, he says, wow, or Arabella, wow, I'm going to have to kiss this boy. But like,
I know. Yeah. I don't know if maybe that crosses their minds. They're still very young.
Right? They're very young, right?
Anyway, only during adolescence, during puberty.
And there will definitely be little backstage crushes between them.
Those things happen.
Didn't Emma date Tom Felton, so Locke Spratt will be the ladies' man now?
The heartthrob in the group.
Like the kid, the kid is tall and already he's 14, no.
And that really reminded me of a behind-the-scenes moment with David Yates saying, today, you guys are going to film the kissing scene. Have you seen that? This week he says it. They said, you guys are going to film the kissing scene. And he was like, what?
Then Daniel was like, yeah, I'll be there to watch. He said, everyone was there when it was my turn to kiss. I think that's really funny, man.
It's really cool.
It's obvious they're having a lot of fun during this shoot.
So, no, Hermione and Harry, no. And I'll say more.
And I'll say more.
And I'll say more. I always did. I always picked up on the hints that Ron and Hermione were a couple. And like, man...
Yeah, the couple that teases each other.
Right? They were meant to be a couple. you know?
I think one of my favorite scenes ever is Hermione saying, and you are like, no.
No, your future husband.
And you are, and then the sister still saying, you are, man, it's so good, seriously.
I think it's cool when Ron, in the book, in the 6th book, he says, I read a book here about, you know, how to deal with girls and all that.
No, it's a treasure and he gives it to Harry. Wow.
Man,
Let's go to our 3rd adaptation. Man, this one will make you laugh, my friend.
let's see if I laugh.
This one will make you laugh.
No, you start this one. You start talking. I want to hear your opinion first.
The girl was poorly adapted in the movies.
Oh, my friend.
She was poorly adapted, poorly directed, poorly cast.
It was wow.
My friend.
I admit I haven't seen the first actress playing Ginny in the series, Gracie, but I hope the second one at least has charisma. So, charisma is an important point, for sure, okay? And if you cast an actor without charisma, wow, do you know who I saw the other day that has no charisma? Because I even said, man, no, I'm going to have to bring up this controversy with Ronaldinho Gaucho, man. I see Ronaldinho Gaucho's commercials.
The guy is pure charisma, man. The guy is pure charisma. Just him being there.
He's really good, but like, man, I see the commercials.
If there's barbecue, I'm there.
That's it? That's why I said it. That's the commercial that made me think that. If it's happening, I'm there. No, I swear, it says he's into random stuff, so I say I'm in. Then I say, no, it's necessary.
But I think that's the fun of it. It's exactly him being like that. But this thing with Gina here, let's not even go there, right?
No, Gina is a character that if she's adapted properly in the series now, you'll see she's going to become one of the standout characters. She'll become one of the most beloved female characters in the series along with Luna and Hermione, right? Ivana Lynch truly brought Luna to life, didn't she? What I mean is Ivana was so good that she kind of overshadowed Bonnie as Ginny in the movies, in my opinion, right? Because Gina has the potential to be part of that female trio, right? Hermione, Gina, Luna. Yeah, for sure, but it just didn't work out.
I also think the movies, poor Bonnie, right? The movies really contributed a lot to her being so overlooked, I think, man.
Yeah, the script was pretty weak, right?
Man, I can't get over the fact that in Prisoner of Azkaban, Ginny has one line and that random kid over there, the fat lady, she disappeared. And that kid who isn't even in the book has more lines than her.
That's the kid who only showed up once. The one who says, it's like trying to catch smoke.
Yeah, that's him, Ben.
Ben. Okay, I thought it was Nigel. It's Ben.
Yeah, he
Has more lines than her and he doesn't even exist.
In the book, you know?
Bro? No, it's sad what they did to Ginny, bro. But look, when she had her moment to shine, she didn't really take advantage of it, right? Reducto. Because that was in Half-Blood Prince.
And the little kiss.
Wow, and the little kiss.
We can leave that buried too if you want. Wow, no, that's not possible, no. Man.
Dude.
So I think that when she had her moment to shine, she also didn't take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah. She could have said, like, David Yates just gives a gentle little kiss, and she's like, dude. Go on, David Yates.
Yeah, that's right. Oh,
dude.
Give a big kiss, yeah?
You know?
That's right. But that's how I feel.
This thing about actors who improvise on the spot and do something different and it turns out good.
It's like Superman with James Gunn. Did you see it? No?
I didn't see it.
I don't even watch it. No, he is. Yeah. The new Superman now, he's going to shoot a scene. He says he should say the line in a stronger way and all. And then they keep arguing, him and James Gunn, like, no, and that's it.
But that scene is like this. Superman got weak, the Penguin threw a paperclip.
Then I would remember this song.
This fourth statement will stir things up.
Is it? Uh-huh. Whoa.
Snape was a good person.
I think I'd say 80% no and 20% yes. So throughout his life, he wasn't really a good person. He was protecting his own interests. And look, I like Snape, but I think, yes, he was a good person. But in that moment, in terms of his intentions, but in the way he acted on them, he was a terrible person. Did you like it?
He was a good person. No, he wasn't a good person. He was a good person, but he wasn't that good. You know?
I think the idea was to be, but with his development, no, he couldn't handle the kids very well, you know?
I think that Snape, the kindness, this kindness that people try to see in him, it goes way beyond kindness. Because I think kindness, like, whether he's a good person is too shallow. Like, what is a good person? Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone fails. Like, everyone makes mistakes. He went there to deliver the prophecy to kill the child. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who didn't? Who broke?
Let them cast the first stone. Who is that? Who has never gone to tell Lord Voldemort to go kill the child?
If it's you, never.
They did that.
Didn't they? What's that?
Man, no. So, I think it's very shallow. This whole good or evil thing. That doesn't exist, man. It doesn't exist, you know? I think I'm sure. Snape, he's a guy full of issues. He has his traumas. He has things that marked him. He's a repugnant person in many ways, in a lot of situations with the kids, but he, man, did what was necessary, and he did act. I really believe that Snape, he tried to honor Lily's death much more out of regret and remorse for what he had helped cause. I agree with that.
More than anything else, you know?
So, that's why I see Snape, mistreating the other students and the way he is with Harry. And some people even say, no, he needed to keep up the act. I don't think so, my friend. He didn't have to. He could have kept up the act without being extremely cruel, in many moments, like he is.
He was an adult dealing with problems, with emotional problems, So, and another thing I think, here's the thing about Snape. I think people forget that everything happened there, first of all, at least the first Wizarding War, at a time when everyone was very young, and I've never had to deal with being in a world at war. Like, at least in a war environment, I don't know how emotions are, I don't know. So I always like to remember that the characters were very young and, making decisions. I'm not saying, to snitch on a child.
But as Harry would say, I knew, Hermione, that you were going to say they were very young, but we're the same age, and we're here fighting against the dark arts when he finds out about Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Give him a hand. Give Harry a hand.
See?
That's it, Harry. Don't give in to those crazy guys. He was young. He wasn't going to pull any tricks to go follow Lord Voldemort, right? Snivelous. Yeah, go.
Hey, I'll say the next one here, okay?
Go ahead.
This one even became a topic on Javiru. I'm not sure if it is. Did she manipulate Harry from beginning to end? And what was Alvo's witness like? I'm grabbing coffee. He's promoting albums again.
Here you can see how biased the guy is, right? Snape is like, no, blah, 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 this and that. Dumbledore, wait a minute, because it's not quite like that.
No, we're seeing hypocrisy unfolding in real time.
Who hasn't?
Right in front of our eyes. Say a line. Let me think of a line with the character. No.
But I don't think Dumbledore manipulated Harry. He moved the pieces around because he was the guy who knew how to handle it. But that was it. I won't go further now. We covered it more in the episode. But man, he definitely had brotherly feelings for Harry. And that was something he didn't expect, right? He didn't expect that he would grow fond of Harry. At first, he did see Harry as an essential piece in defeating Voldemort.
But he saw that, he ended up getting attached to Harry. So much so that he kept postponing telling Harry, right?
And he even has that line, right? Why would I care if people far from here died, as long as you were safe and sound, right? So, I don't think he manipulated Harry. But he made Harry follow the path he needed to take.
Yeah, I really like Dumbledore too. I think that...
Such a great man, yeah.
Dumbledore! Yeah, Dumbledore is the one. And one of the scenes I'm most actually excited to see in the series now is the scene, I don't know why, but from the first season, the scene in the infirmary. Because I think John Lithgow, he will
deliver.
He'll win an Emmy for this scene and the mirror scene, okay? I'm just saying it now. Because John Lithgow, guys, I love Richard Harris. I like Michael Gambon.
I love Richard Harris. I like Michael Gambon.
But John Lithgow, I get the feeling that seeing all the awards this guy's been winning, he's going to deliver something truly outstanding.
Yes, for sure.
That's how I feel.
That's how it is. I think that just like the adult cast of the movies, who were basically the British royalty of acting, the series also has a lot.
John Lithgow is TV royalty, man. Exactly. Right? He's royalty. He didn't.
He's not British, but he did.
But he's TV royalty. Exactly, he is. And he's highly respected. Yes. Maybe the most respected actor in this series so far, of course, right? Obviously, Janet McTeer and others are as well, but John Lithgow...
He is. No, but so far what we're seeing is the elite of acting right there, Yes, We can't say the same about the kids, but from what we can tell, Lox Pratt, we've already seen that he's a great actor. Yes. Right? The others, Arabella for example, we haven't seen her acting yet. We've seen clips of her as Matilda, but you know what I mean? They're actors we're going to see growing up, and I think they're going to have a lot to offer, you know?
Yeah, and the casting directors, they showed up in the documentary, Lucy and Emily. They're really talented at finding child actors. Actually, I think we're in good hands.
Lucy posted a casting call for Gina, right?
Yes. I thought it had already been chosen.
Yeah, same here. That casting call really surprised me. It gave me the feeling that we have several people selected here, but we want to make sure that there's no talent out there being missed before we make the final decision. That's why this casting call will only last 2 weeks. Yes. The deadline to send the video is July 17th.
That's Lucy. We're mentioning here that Lucy Bevan, who's from the casting department, right? The series child casting team put out a casting call for Ginny Weasley for the 2nd season.
And we were even surprised because we thought Gina had already been chosen. Right? And then they did this casting call for children between 10 and 12 years old who live in the United Kingdom.
Some news just came out here. Do you want to hear it? No, nothing important. But the agencies are looking for babies. Look, several agencies are looking for babies for the Harry Potter series, now for the 2nd season. Babies with Harry's characteristics. Look, flashback. For filming in September, right? For filming in September. Either a flashback or the notebook that Hagrid gives to Harry, you know? At the end of Sorcerer's Stone with photos. Maybe to take some photos for, I don't know, or but...
Then, they wouldn't have taken it. They wouldn't have done it in the 1st season, because the photo of him as a baby is the first one, right?
That's true. Let's see. Or maybe a flashback of Harry as a baby. I don't know. But interesting. As a baby. In baby form. But it's interesting, interesting, interesting. All right. See you next time.
Read the next one.
Draco deserved a more explicit redemption. I totally agree with that. Wow, I think Draco is exactly the kind of layered character I like Kylo Ren. Ambiguous ones, yeah, ambiguous. I like Snape, I like Draco. But Draco, he's different. He's not like Kylo Ren, you know? He didn't kill his father. It's kind of like that.
I think Kylo Ren's really getting dragged here, you know?
I think that, of course, in the world of Harry Potter, Draco is racist. We can say that, right? Within the universe, it's very much like that. We really can. We really can. He and his parents, right? So all the prejudice about bloodline, calling Hermione a mudblood, those are obviously deplorable attitudes that were heavily influenced, in my opinion, right? Because he's a 12-year-old kid there in the chamber, influenced by his parents. And I think he matured very slowly, but he gradually grew up. And when he had to deal with the infamous murder of Dumbledore...
Like, when things got tough, he realized it wasn't all that great. Just like Regulus too, right? When he saw how things really were, those guys, they were living out their parents' expectations. And like, wow, this is actually really tough. When things really started hitting them, they started to show their true selves. Draco crying there in the bathroom, desperate, thinking he wouldn't make it. That's the real Draco. Yeah, that.
What a desperate kid he is.
Wanting to please, wanting to do what he thought was right to avenge his father, and all that, based on what he grew up believing. So I think, man, a redemption, although first he needs to take a real beating. Hi, is that so? I want to see Ron punching him in the face. Yeah, I want to see all of that happening. I don't think Draco's suffering should be minimized, no. I think he needs to get beaten up by Harry, by Draco, by Ron, by Hermione. You know, he needs to get a few beatings so he learns his lesson. Yeah. And then his evolution happens gradually. And yes, a more explicit redemption.
But yes, and I think in the series he could even have this more explicit redemption. They could add a bit more of those moments, right? No.
I think he's going to be very well developed in the series. Very well developed.
No, totally still. Let's make the most of Lox's talent. Yes. Who will make Draco a character? The actor who plays Draco is the 2nd most followed in the series on Instagram. Yeah. So far. Yeah, he only loses to Arabella, who has 186,000 followers, and he has 160,000. I said, wow, the guy, he's more followed than Dominic.
It's because he's also much more active.
Right? He also acted in Lord of the Flies, which just recently landed on Netflix.
Voldemort never loved anyone.
But yes.
There's nothing to disagree on, right? Yeah.
No, did he love Bellatrix like a childhood crush? No.
It was just a fling.
Love, a fling is a fling, relax. So, I don't think so. Voldemort doesn't even have time to love anyone, man. Voldemort was way too focused on himself, on loving himself.
He doesn't know how to love. You didn't know how to love me. Yeah, you get it?
Who sings this song? I'm not going to say it. Let that person sing it. Don't worry.
I think it's Blitz.
Blitz?
You didn't know how to love. I'm not sure if it's Blitz or not. Yeah. Okay, we don't need to talk much about this one because Voldemort really...
There's not even any discussion. Yeah. 8th, look at this. Here's number 8. Fred's death was unnecessary. That's controversial, huh?
I disagree.
Do you think it was necessary?
I disagree.
But, like, specifically one of the twins dying, or I don't know, it could have been Molly, it could have been Arthur, Bill.
Kaio, you know why I disagree? Because, like, the argument people use for that is, he died for nothing. Guys, it's a war.
Yeah? No?
I don't. In war, good people die. Innocent people die. In fact, that's the harsh reality of war. Do you understand? Fred was someone who was there fighting. Do you understand? So...
Unnecessary? Like, unnecessary for what? For the story's narrative? I don't think so. It's a war. People we love, people we care about die, and that's something we feel, you know?
Yeah, but it could have been Cito Porce, right? It's just that they're joking around. But no, they'd care, even if it was Hedwig. I've seen those people saying, okay, but what about Hedwig? And the owl, why did she have to be killed? And I've read something that I think is really cool, which is that it's kind of the loss of innocence of, that's it.
His innocence. The death of innocence.
Although I think the death, although it's a quick death, of course, they're in the middle of escaping with the 7 Potters, but I think it could have had a bit more impact, you know.
Wow, man, it's just that in the book she explodes, right?
Yeah, in the movie, just in the book, she explodes. No, I mean impact afterwards, you know. I wanted to see Harry still talking, mentioning her when he gets to the burrow, you know, right there when, but no. George is missing an ear? How will he remember the owl?
I remembered.
Hey, Mom! Let me be. My dog died, Mom. That guy singing to his dog. Have you seen it? I loved it. I loved it.
No, but did the dog really die in that video?
The guy died and he's there all sad. Oh, Magdalene, who went to heaven. That's his mom. He's going to bury that dog over there. Oh, Mom, let me be with my dog.
I haven't seen this one. Now I need to.
It's really good.
Dude, about the pig. Does the guy think the pig died? Yeah, what's his name again? Ronaldo? What's the pig's name?
I don't know the name, but Freddy gets really desperate, right?
Rodolfo. It's Rodolfo. Rodolfo. Dude, in that meme, is it pig or Rodolfo? Rodolfo.
Rodolfo.
Damn, I thought that.
You were dead.
Rodolfo. Man, I love this meme. It's my first movie ever. Who, Porco or Rodolfo?
He could have felt a little more, but I don't think he even had time, poor guy. I don't think Fred's death was unnecessary. Do you?
Man, I don't think so. I agree. I think it's a war. People die. As a fan, I wish it hadn't been Fred. I wanted it to be the other Weasley. By the way, she thought about killing...
That it had been the other Weasley.
She thought about killing Arthur in the Order of the Phoenix, right?
Even Ron was considered for death, right? Yes.
No way. Are you crazy? If he killed Ron, he would be... No, this isn't Stranger Things. No, not here. Here, they're not afraid to kill someone else.
You know, that thing, this is Flamengo. Have you seen this? What thing? Damn it, this thing is Flamengo. No.
I don't know. What mix is that? I'm out of the loop with memes. I should bring my friend Ali. He knows them all.
Oh, next.
Go ahead. Are you going to read this one or should I read it here?
This one is controversial, huh?
Wow, go ahead.
Sirius would have been a better father than James.
For Harry? No. A father in real life if he had a child? I don't think James is a bad father.
I have to disagree. Do you know why? Sirius, man, he was in prison for a really long time. Yeah. He didn't even fully mature himself. Sometimes those who read the books will remember Sirius like that. Wow, I was attacked by Dementors. How cool. I wish I had been attacked by Dementors. It would be nice, an adventure, while Harry was really going through tough times. Yeah, that's true. And he's really there, you know, like wanting it. It seems like Sirius, there's a part of him that never grew up. That got stunted in Azkaban, you know? Part of his personality.
In fact, the Shrieking Shack scene
made that clear. The eternal kid, always bold and cheerful. Yeah, Neymar at 40 still going. Because of the song. Yeah, no, damn, that's an insult to Sirius, right? Hey, no, hold on.
The guy just compared Sirius to Neymar.
No, come on. No, what? No, that's messed up.
Yeah, man, no. Sirius has this more immature side, which is natural. He was stuck there. But,
A lot of it is because he was imprisoned.
yeah, he was imprisoned, man. He was put in there when he was 21, and unjustly no less, you know? Yeah, so, man, he was imprisoned at a time when the war was at its peak, you know? He didn't see the post-war period unfold, because he was already in prison.
The guy says, I never forget the video. That video is so good. It's Sirius being wrongly imprisoned. Then he's going crazy in the chair, right? Head. Me when I get imprisoned for something I didn't do. It's so good. Wow. Honestly, but yeah.
But I think James Tiago. Yeah, Tiago. He was a good father. He was a great father. Man, it was for a short time.
But yeah. Wow, that's really sad. Heavy.
It gave the episode a heavy mood.
He was a father for a year, but he was an excellent father. Yeah, let's move on now. At number 10, check it out. Remus Lupin is the most tragic character in the saga.
Look,
Wow, it has potential, you know?
I think it's one of the most tragic.
It has a lot of potential because from being bitten by a werewolf at age 4, he then...
bitten when he was 4, right, man?
Not only that, I think aside from enduring all the hardship, right? Of transforming, even though he had the Marauders to stay by his side at that moment.
It was only during school, right?
Then later he falls in love, then his best friend James dies, right?
They think he's a traitor. Like, first of all, no. They stop trusting him, thinking that because he's a werewolf, he could be the... Wow, I think that's such a stretch, man.
Don't you think that's a stretch?
Prejudice, such a stretch.
Man, his own friends, right?
So who do you trust? Wormtail. But screw you. You deserved it, you know? No.
Seriously.
Man, you asked for it.
Man, it's unbelievable, right? He asked for it. Wow. The guys preferred to be prejudiced against Lupin and trust Pedro Pettigrew, man.
He asked for it, right? Tell me he didn't ask for it.
Hey, Tiago. Then the guy grows up, obviously dealing with all that hardship. He falls in love with Tonks, but I don't think...
He doesn't think he's worthy.
And then he dies. He didn't lose his other friend, Sirius.
No, and there's all that in between, right? With him wanting to leave Tonks while she's pregnant. Like, Lupin's life is a tragedy. It's a tragedy.
For me, his happy moments were when he was teaching Harry at Hogwarts. And I think it's good that the series makes that very clear because I think that part of his relationship is really cool. Because maybe this moment of him teaching Harry, this relationship he had with Harry during that school year was the closest he ever got to having that kind of moment with his friends, right?
I think maybe he's a strong candidate for one of the characters with the most tragic backstory.
But come on, we have Harry himself, who lost his parents, right?
I find Harry's story quite tragic.
For real, man. They really downplay Harry's story.
Man, Harry's story, if you think about it book by book, man, it's really rough.
Man, yesterday I was working on it, especially the first book, before he finds out he's a wizard. Yesterday I was writing a script about Marge's story. Aunt Marge, right?
Aunt Marge's story that's not told in the movies. And it's actually kind of heavy for me because I really feel it as a father, but also as a kid who once lived without parents. Yeah, right?
The way Harry was mistreated.
Like, when he was 4 years old, Aunt Marge would hit his leg with a cane so he wouldn't beat Dudley in the birthday game. Like a 4-year-old kid, you know? It's Harry having to stay up in the tree until after midnight because the dog wanted to bite him. Aunt Marge's dog wanted to bite him. Yeah, a bulldog. And she didn't call it back. And the Dursleys laughing. So, like, at Christmas, she brought cookies, an old box of dog biscuits for Harry, you know? It's not just about not liking the child. She wanted to humiliate, wanted to belittle a child who was already growing up, without parents, without affection, without his parents' love. You understand? Like, it's a really heavy thing, man. So awful.
The pilot will darken the Christmas mood.
See? No what, man?
No, seriously, if they show everything Harry went through as a kid, people will just say, that's stupid. No.
It's devastating, man. It's something really sad. So, like, and the things... Okay, Harry's life gets a lot better, right? When he finds out he's a wizard, he makes friends there, right? His life changes, but even so, he still has all the weight and responsibility of being the boy who lived, right? And the losses he suffers. So, it's a tragic story, but he had support from the people he loved and who loved him, right? Later on. Good.
Now it's still a tragic story.
Very tragic. Neville's too. Neville's life is also very, very, very hard, man.
Man, you see that a lot of characters in Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter is a series of 7 books where really many characters didn't have an easy life. No. Yeah, there's no way around it. Both of them, poor guys. Let's go. Yeah, that's it. And well,
Poor guys.
yeah, that's it. You complaining over there, guys. Yeah, let's go. Number 11 is that the best possible adaptation is to copy the book scene by scene. Wow, I completely disagree. I disagree. And I think that whoever asked for that, I think they're missing out on a lot of good stuff, okay? Yeah, is there the scene with Buckbeak flying there in the book with Harry? There isn't. Not like that. And it's one of the most...
The scene with the dragon in the task.
No, it's the scene with Harry dancing with Hermione. Like it or not, I think it adds a lot in that moment of war when they're alone. And man, I'm in favor of the series adding a lot more, okay? Nothing, of course, that strays too far from the core, right?
Change that. Nothing that changes the core.
The personality of the
Characters. Exactly.
That's something we're really going to have to address, I think, when the series comes out. For example, I'll say this now, I'm going to be a little sad if Ron keeps being, comic relief. Every line from Ron is just the gossip.
Gossip.
That's it. So I'm already saying I won't like it. So you really have to know who the character is, Look, each one's personality, but I forgot what the point is here. Is it the best adaptation by? No. In fact, no. So I'm in favor of putting it in very...
Because I think you have to expand. You have to adapt. There are things that only work in the book and won't work on screen. That's a fact, man.
It's normal. Some things just don't work,
So, as long as it doesn't change the essence of the story, as long as it's not something that completely interferes with the direction the story is going to take, or changes events that are already established, for me, it's great. It's not a change like, let's say I'll use Prisoner of Azkaban as an example, which is most people's favorite movie.
For me, it's an atrocity that Harry starts the movie by casting Lumos Maxima.
That's a change that goes completely against the rules of magic. Harry can't do magic outside of school. He's underage. The book doesn't start with him casting the Lumos Maxima spell. He's writing an essay.
Did you get it? And then, in the movie, he starts by casting Lumos Maxima.
This is a very important point because they make it very clear, actually.
That you can't. Exactly. Harry, the year before, got a warning because of Dobby, who cast a spell.
It was just Wingardium Leviosa, not even a real spell. Wow.
Extremely complex. Exactly. Then, in Order of the Phoenix, he goes to a hearing because he used the spell.
In Prisoner of Azkaban, it's fine for him to use the Lumos Maxima spell there.
Then, yeah, in Order of the Phoenix, there's the Patronus. He's expelled from Hogwarts because of it. He goes to a hearing because he cast the Patronus. Exactly. And then he can cast Lumos Maxima.
Yeah, it's a change this kind of change, and it already starts with this change.
Right?
This kind of change, I'm against it. Because then, it goes and interferes with the story, with the established lore in the story. Yes.
From the movies and the books, right? That's it.
The next point is, should the series age the characters, like in the movies? Should they look like they're a different age than they really are?
No, I disagree. One of the coolest things is everyone there is young, like I said.
If you're still young.
Young still. Tomorrow you'll be old, unless your heart keeps the youth that will never die.
I'm going to take a while. It's going to take a while. I'm the famous one.
No, I'll stop. It's Chavez. Everyone, guys, another Chavez reference on our podcast. We really give away our age here, don't we?
You can't see it here, but Kiko and So Madruga are up there.
I think the second So Madruga should stay here in this episode. No, I really like Chavez, man, but no, it's not that.
It's the same universe. Didn't the Witch of 71 study at Beauxbatons? That's true.
Didn't you know about that theory? There will be an episode here about theories, and that one will be included. No, but hey, so it's not a theory.
You shouldn't
age the characters first because it's really cool to know that the characters are young. Yes, Snape at the time of Sorcerer's Stone is about 31 years old. So everyone, right? Lupin is going to be 33.
In Azkaban. How do you feel knowing that in Sorcerer's Stone, Snape is younger than you?
I'm now the teacher. I'm not the student anymore, right? When I went to watch the first movie, I was getting my letter. I was the same age as Harry.
You getting your bill.
Now I'm the same age as Snape, man.
Getting a bill. Great, it's a bill, not a Hogwarts letter.
It's a little bill.
Me too. Wow, it's really ouch.
The owl has arrived.
I made a dove.
You know?
Yeah, man, this owl looks kind of like a dove, but what about you? Are you in favor or not?
If I am, no, I'm against it.
Yeah, I'm against it. No, I get the appeal of movies trying to do that. It's like, let's use as an example those Silvio Santos shows, where people, how old are you? I'm 27. Wow, man, you sounded like my dad just now.
It was crazy that I don't know if they lied. If they lied, they lied. I don't know if they lied about their age or if it's really not possible because, man.
But I have the feeling that when I was a kid, when I was a kid, people seemed older, right?
When people talked like, wow, a 30-year-old, they easily looked like they were 40 or 50, you know?
Wow, the whole generation is going to be old people, cool old folks. Will people reflect that?
Young, like,
With sunglasses, I think we already have that in our generation. Those of us born in the 90s already have this thing, right? The nostalgia, all of it. I'm sure that when we're 60 years old, we'll be wearing tank tops, tattoos. Hello!
fellow kids, you know? That meme. Hello, fellow kids.
Wow.
That's it, band, you know?
Yeah, with that guy with the skateboard behind, right? Wow, that's crazy. But that's it. I don't think so. They shouldn't age.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, so I also don't think so. The movie had this idea of showing the characters older, even to make it feel like, oh, wow, these are Harry's parents, right? Especially because it was a new world, a new story. Today, people know Harry Potter really well, so I think it's not a risk they need to take, you know?
I don't think so either. Yeah, let's go. The movies, number 13 here. Did the movies improve some characters compared to the books? I would say I think this is the first one I'm going to disagree with, you know? I don't know if I've disagreed before. I can't remember any right now. Did they improve some characters compared to the books? I would say that most of the time I actually think they made the book characters worse.
Yeah,
I don't see it that way, thinking about it like that.
I can think of things the movies do better, but not enough to say, like, wow, the movies improved the character.
You know who they improved? Snape.
Improved in the sense of, like, romanticizing, right? Of glossing over the stuff he did.
Snape is totally out of control in the books, and in the movies, he's always the same.
I don't think improved really fits in this case. I think that actually made it worse for me, you know? Because that's not the essence of the character.
Okay? Yeah, but what is it? I think they improved Draco, but I'm not sure. It's really more about being attached to the actors, isn't it?
But no, I don't think it got better, no. I can mention specific points that I think are better in the movie for certain characters, certain moments, but no. Overall, I can't say, like, no, the movie improved this, improved the character. Because then you take a statement about the character from the movie and it's the last movie, you know? So, no.
It improved in some ways, right?
This one is tough.
Hermione is overrated by the fans.
That's what I think, okay? Here's the thing. I have a view, I have a strong opinion about this, and I think people are really attached to Emma Watson. I think Emma did really well in movie 1 and movie 2. Okay? I think she's a perfect Hermione in movie 1 and movie 2. From the third movie on, there's that attachment. In my case, I was a teenager. I had a huge crush on Emma Watson and all. Wow, she's so beautiful. From Prisoner on, I had a huge crush on Emma, and then it just stayed like that. But Emma, in my view, started drifting further and further away from Hermione as the movies went on. Okay? I think that Hermione in the books is more like Rose in the Cursed Child play, who's actually annoying. Every time she shows up, it's like, oh, this girl is so annoying. Let the boys play, you know? Yeah, that's how I see Hermione.
Well, I don't really share that view that because of Emma, and not just Emma, I think the actors in general, and people who have only seen the movies, have a different perspective, right? I think, yes, Hermione is overrated, But it's completely the movie's fault because of something the movies did, taking Ron's lines and giving them to her, and making her simply the person who knew everything, when that didn't need to be done for Hermione to be awesome.
No, understand. I'm not saying that Hermione isn't an awesome character, or that she's not super smart. She really is very intelligent, but there are things she couldn't have known, because they're part of a wizard's experience.
And she was born a muggle, you know? So, like, I'll give you an example that really annoys me in the movies.
Everyone, they're looking for a place to train in Order of the Phoenix, right? With Dumbledore's army and all that. Then Neville finds the Room of Requirement, but in the book, it's Dobby who tells them about it. Then they get there and Hermione says, "Congratulations, Neville, you found the Room of Requirement, also known as the Room. If you knew, why didn't you look for it? Why didn't you find it? No, you know?
Or didn't suggest that.
Right? Or suggested the idea. Or didn't mention the legend of a secret room.
It's just that Hermione doesn't need
To say it, right? Yeah, exactly.
Emma needs to speak.
Exactly, you know? Exactly. So it's something that puts her way up there, like, wow, she knows everything, when there was no need to do that. If the movies followed what she already does in the books, that would be it. She would already be perfectly loved, admired, without having to force anything, you know? They forced it a little. So I think, yes, she's overrated in this regard, because it seems like Hermione never makes mistakes in the movies. That's the feeling. Hermione never makes mistakes. Hermione is always right about everything. Hermione, wow, she's the biggest genius in the school because she knows everything, you know? But it's not like that. In the book, there are several moments when Hermione says something that's not right. There are several moments when Hermione gets confused because she's very skeptical and only follows what's written in the books. A good example is her annoyance at Harry for following the Half-Blood Prince's instructions. She's like, no, you can't. Even though he clearly succeeded with the potion, she's like, no, you can't. It's wrong. It's not official. Do you get it?
So when Harry mentions the Deathly Hallows, she insists it's just a children's tale, even though
The thing literally exists. She believes in so many things, but in moments when her friends need her,
exactly.
she can't trust her friend's word.
Right? And it's not just her and Ron. Harry says, man, Draco's up to something weird. Draco became a Death Eater. Draco, come on. No, Harry, no way. That's not it at all. Like, they keep doubting Harry, making him look crazy.
And another thing, Harry had just gone through everything that happened at the Department of Mysteries, you know? Lucius Malfoy was arrested. It would make a lot of sense. Draco and...
They see everything there as themselves.
They wouldn't even ask, why do you think that, my friend? Yeah.
They see very substantial evidence there, you know? Harry sees very substantial evidence. The thing about him hiding his arm because of the mark, you know?
Anyway, but then there's this point that I think movie fans in general overrated Hermione.
Hermione in the book is a know-it-all to the point of being annoying, which is different from how she's portrayed in the movie. She's a know-it-all who also makes mistakes, but she has her moments of doubt, her moments of uncertainty, her moments of vulnerability, which is, for me, what makes the character so cool. So human, too. You know?
I love Hermione, man.
No, I love Hermione, too.
I love Hermione. But I agree with that statement that Hermione is overrated. No, it's not that I agree. I understand the point of it, you know. Shall we move on to number 15?
Let's go.
This one's good too, huh? Ron is underestimated by the fans.
It's the case of Hermione, but the other way around.
I think the adaptation mishandled some characters. The trio, it mishandled the trio, okay? I think Harry is much funnier and more sarcastic in the books. Hermione is really much more explosive, much more annoying. Many lines that belong to Ron went to Hermione in the movies. And it makes Ron seem like a much more annoying or worse character than he really is. I always saw Ron as a very loyal friend to Harry. A guy who is brave, a guy who gets involved, who has his own issues.
He sacrifices himself, the insecurities.
Of course. And if we explore Ron's insecurities better, which I think the series will do, like insecurity about his appearance, insecurity about coming from a family, about having a brother,
About being the brother.
about being in the shadow of the world.
That's it.
Man, it's really funny. Poor guy. I always say that. But it's really amazing to me that Harry becomes friends with Ron, and I think the series already understood their friendship. It already understood how hard it's going to be for Ron to have this friendship. It's not easy to be the best friend of the most famous wizard in the world. Yeah, he must question himself every day.
He feels overshadowed, right? Do I deserve this, right? No, and besides, that's the case, right? What I said was the case with Hermione, but it's the opposite. Ron had several of his lines taken away.
And he had things that he explained because of his experience coming from a wizard family. Do you get it? That's what makes sense.
Yeah, and then there are moments when Ron, there's a moment in The Prisoner of Azkaban, when he defends Hermione in the book. He even gets detention for it.
Remember when Snape calls her an annoying know-it-all?
Yeah, and then, in the movie, he's actually right. That doesn't make sense, man. In the book, he defends her.
He gets detention for that.
Exactly.
So it's nonsense. Wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Man, just like they built Hermione up too much in the movies, they underestimated Ron.
I agree.
Completely. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, read the next one, Kako.
Hagrid should never have been a teacher.
Man, I'm not going to say that I think Hagrid is a very good person. He's a very dear person. He's just a person. I think he lets himself get carried away a little, because, in the Hippogriff class, right, you can clearly see that he's a bit unprepared. He's a bit insecure, which is normal. He's nervous. So, okay, it's his first class there. I'm not sure. In other years, I think he only improved a bit. This issue, right, it's like, although he was removed later in the Order of the Phoenix, right? But I don't know. I don't really know what else to think.
I disagree. No, I disagree. Do you know why? I think that if we're talking about a story where Death Eaters have a second chance to redeem themselves, right?
In this case, there's the whole thing with Hagrid being expelled. We haven't mentioned that yet.
Right? In Snape's case, the guy was a Death Eater.
And he had the chance to switch sides. All right. He had all his work as a spy, and he was a talented wizard and all. Okay.
But we're essentially talking about second chances.
I think Hagrid should have been a teacher, just like he was.
And another thing, he's not teaching spells. He's teaching how to take care of creatures, something he's always liked, and the first book makes that clear.
He always knew how to do that.
That's right.
The question is, was he extremely prepared for that? No, he wasn't. But that doesn't mean he would be a terrible teacher, or that he couldn't improve. That's true, as a teacher. Of course we have the student saying, people in Ravenclaw think he's a joke.
He may not be the best teacher, but I don't think the question is whether he's good or bad. It's whether he deserved the chance to be one. I think he did. He was an unfairly treated guy. Expelled. Man, he lost his mother. His mother abandoned him as a baby.
He lost his father when he was young, at 12 years old.
He was someone who didn't even have the development he needed to have, right?
We need adults in order to develop in certain ways, and he didn't have that, He was someone who already suffered prejudice for being kind of a giant, so I think he really deserved it.
And I think the series is going to show this more human and childlike side of Hagrid, I think Nick Frost is going to do that really well.
Next statement. Yeah, Neville Longbottom should have killed Bellatrix, not Molly Weasley.
No, why give that vengeful side to Neville?
I think it would be too obvious.
It's kind of cliche.
Right? It's something obvious and cliche.
Revenge is never fulfilling.
It kills the soul and poisons it, yeah.
It's no use, man. Shavs teaches us about life. Here's the thing. I don't think so. I think it's like you said, it would be cliche, it would be expected, and Molly killing the beautiful Bellatrix is a nice surprise. It's actually one of the coolest scenes.
Not my daughter, you bitch.
Great scene, but too bad the movie didn't adapt it well, right? But still, it's a good scene, man. The Ministry of Magic here.
Look, number 18. Molly defeating Bellatrix makes total sense. It's kind of like that.
It repeated, yeah.
It's kind of like we've already answered that.
It does. It makes sense. Well, it's not that it makes sense. Wow, it had to be Molly, but it's something expected. Yeah, it's something cool.
No, I don't think it's expected.
No, sorry, it's something surprising. Yeah, surprising. It's something like that, right? It breaks from the cliche a little.
And man, she was a mother who had just lost her son. So don't provoke her, you know?
The next one is the Ministry of Magic is the real villain of the saga. I agree. Man, if it's not the real villain,
It's one of the biggest and an ally.
one of the biggest allies to the villain.
Man, the Ministry of Magic is extremely corrupt. And I'll go even further, okay? The greatest evil in Harry Potter isn't Cornelius Fudge. No, no, no. It's not even close to being Voldemort. Voldemort may represent everything cruel in the wizarding world, everything horrible. It's the dark arts. But the wizarding society as a whole is rotten. Because they enslave house elves, they treat other beings as inferior. There is a clause that forbids other beings from using wands, restricting wand use only to wizards. So the wand is, besides being a magical instrument, a symbol of oppression of other species. Do you understand? So, in this way, the Ministry of Magic symbolizes all this corruption and structural inequality that exists in the wizarding world. Did you get it? So, yes, the Ministry of Magic is the big villain. Do you understand?
A lot of wrong decisions, and it's very easy to be corrupted, man, right? Like, you see at several points in the story, the Ministry of Magic interfering in everything. So, wow, that statement is absolutely correct.
Dobby should have survived. That's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I'm going to stand by my opinion. I don't think Dobby needed to die. Sorry, there was no need to kill Dobby, man. With so many deaths, Dobby didn't need to die. Sorry. Or with the life he had, you are a servant of the Malfoys, right?
Servant.
You're a slave there, quote unquote, to the Malfoys, which isn't easy, right? You're there getting hit with Lucius Malfoy's cane every other day. And look, we saw he had the nerve to hit him with the cane right in front of Dumbledore.
The nerve.
The nerve. Right in front of him.
She had the nerve.
Imagine what he did to Dobby, when no one was watching. And he had already left that life behind, right? All that stuff. And then he goes back to work in the kitchen there with Winky. No, he doesn't go back, right?
Yes, he goes back. Dobby stays.
He's not just there for a visit, right? He goes back to work. And that's it. So I think in the end, he saves the day and dies.
No.
I think I'll stand by my opinion.
Do you know why?
Of course, it would have been really cool if he had survived and all.
But what does Dobby's death mean to you, man?
Dobby's death means that sacrifice and nobility come from those who are looked down upon by society. Dobby is seen as trash by society. But the sacrifice he makes there to rescue people and give his own life for it shows the greatness and nobility he has, much nobler than many wizards who claim to be.
And he was still inside the mansion of his former servants, right? Exactly. Not servants, owners, right? He saved the day inside the mansion. But still, I don't think so.
I think Dobby's death is very symbolic, very poetic, you know? Yeah, it's really sad, obviously. But he had a huge heart and a nobility that went beyond any barrier they put on his kind, you know?
You know what I do? You know when something happens and some politician creates a bill named after that thing? If I were Hermione back then, before she became Minister of Magic, when she cared for creatures, I would have created the Dobby bill so he would never, I doubt it,
Okay, if Hermione didn't, so that he would never.
have been forgotten and could have better conditions besides just work, right? Because honestly, I think the series is the perfect chance to develop this better, you know? Why? They enslave elves.
To raise the question,
To have the questioning, and Hermione is going to not do much on that front, right?
that can't be missing from the series.
To question the reason why. They should just ask Dumbledore, like, why is that? Be complicit.
Complicit. With slavery, my friend. See?
That's right. And look, 21, Dumbledore's death was inevitable.
Yeah, everyone dies, right?
That's how it is. At some point, he was going to die. But the way he died was extremely smart, at least for the plan he had, right?
His death was inevitable. Hold on. Now we have to draw the whole parallel here.
Yes, his death was inevitable because he put on the ring with the curse and he was already going to die.
He was already going to die. I think sometimes people forget that. He was already going to die. Dumbledore was already going to die.
Yes, he was doomed to die when he put on the ring,
Yeah.
and he uses that
To his advantage.
as a scheme to make Snape get even more in Voldemort's good graces. All right, perfect. So it was inevitable. Now, if Dumbledore hadn't put on the ring and kept being the wizard he was, you'll have to forgive me, my friend. I don't think he would have perished in the war. No.
Let me think here. If the series shows the moment when he puts on the ring, would that be a spoiler? Because I always think Dobby is going to show up in the first season. No, that's not going to happen because that's a spoiler for the second one, right? So what I'm trying to say is yes, if I think we could have a scene of him putting it on. No, that would ruin the plot of Half-Blood Prince, right? Yeah. If it showed the moment when he regrets what happened with Ariana and wants to see Ariana again, right, in a tragic gesture. But that's it. We've already recorded an episode about this too. The Marauders were bullies back in school.
I kind of agree.
That's the thing. They were teenagers.
I don't think it was out of nowhere. No. Snape asked for it too.
Exactly.
It wasn't out of nowhere.
No, it wasn't just one side. Snape provoked them too. He started provoking right there, didn't he?
Attacking him 4 against 1 was cowardly. That's unquestionable.
Besides that, I don't think it's just Snape. Many students probably did the same in school. Yeah, come on, read the next one.
James Potter was a bully.
Bully. I think he had a personal grudge against Snape. If he were a bully, I think he would have done that to several other students.
But he did mess with some other people too. But with Snape, it was
It was a more specific thing, but he went overboard. I think he went overboard with Snape and humiliated him, right? I don't like it.
James, right?
Yeah, I don't like that part where he leaves Snape hanging upside down in his underwear. I think it was a bit too much. I think if it was just a wedgie, back in my day, did they give wedgies in your time? They did. Man, seriously. And there was a time when people were still pulling down each other's pants. Man, that's surreal. 24. Snape never got over his teenage years, I agree. I think calling it teenage years is a bit much. I think he never got over the wrong choices he made. And he wasn't a teenager anymore.
But he never got over his teenage years. He never got over adolescence. That's clear, for example, in Prisoner of Azkaban, when he wants to turn Sirius in no matter what.
Even when they're saying, look, that's not what's happening. Sirius is innocent, okay? He still wants to turn him in. And then he still gets pissed and tells the Slytherin students that Lupin was a werewolf. Because Lupin, right? Dumbledore said that Lupin helped them escape. Yeah, that's right.
There was quite an attitude, even dragging Lupin into it.
He didn't get over it. This guy doesn't get over the trauma because he gets completely out of control. He yells, calls Hermione stupid, says she doesn't understand anything.
You'll see, the problem with the series will be when Snape starts acting like he does in the book. Then people will say, no! No, not then, but he's going to be exactly like he is in the book. Yeah, read 25.
Slytherin was wronged by the story. I agree.
I agree. Yeah, especially in the adaptation, yes. I think that in the book,
Slytherin is already treated unfairly. Because that's the thing, man. We have to be mature and understand that the book is from Harry's point of view. And Harry's view of Slytherin is that they're all jerks. That's it. They're all crooks and scoundrels. That's it. You get it? There won't be another perspective, since the book is from his point of view. We have to be mature enough to say, wait a minute, it's not exactly like that. Slytherin has cool people. It's a house that has produced great wizards. Do you understand?
Yeah, most of them aren't exactly saints, huh? Unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's how it is. Like, it also is, yeah. Well, later on, yeah, that's a confirmed fact.
After what happened, right?
After the war, that whole paradigm around Slytherin, that stigma, kind of started to break down, you know? Yeah. They started to be seen as a house in a different light.
uh-huh. You know that at the end of Sorcerer's Stone, when he gives the points to Neville, it's because you're a true Gryffindor, right? I am. You're going to defend Dumbledore at all costs. Yes. But, like, what bothers me a little...
Do you think it wasn't fair? No.
No, I think it was totally fair, the extra points.
So, let's start.
The point is, maybe they could have given the points earlier. They just said Gryffindor won thanks to Harry, Ron, Ronnie.
To Neville.
Have you ever heard that saying?
I need to be in front of... Have you ever heard of humiliating Slytherins?
Have you heard that saying? Pride comes before a fall? Brazilian arrogance.
Me, the car, man, you should have done it right, you know.
Right? My friend, you...
You'd make a good lawyer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Look at that. No, you'll have to excuse me. Yeah, Dumbledore still didn't do enough.
If it were up to me, I'd give a few more points.
Yeah, the 10 points for Neville weren't enough. Look, next up here is number 26. The movies favored Hermione way too much. We've already talked about that. Redundant, right? Let's go to 27. Harry should have used more magic in the battles.
Man, I'm a big supporter of Harry using Sectum Sempra on the Death Eaters, you know? Yeah. He just keeps using Expelliarmus, Levicorpus. I know it's part of Harry's essence not to want to hurt others, you know? Like, wow, he doesn't... When he uses the Cruciatus curse, it's because something really serious happens, right? But he keeps thinking about it, right? Like, wow, he didn't even want to use a spell that would knock the Death Eater off the broom, because he would fall from over 30 meters and die. And he was under the Imperius curse anyway.
I would say that Sectum Sempra is pretty much at the level of an unforgivable curse, because if no one had gotten there, if no one had arrived at the bathroom, Draco would have died from bleeding, you know? And you know what I'm remembering? There was a time when you, Leo, and Renee, you guys were really focused on imitating that guy, those guys from Oh Rogerino. Do you remember that time? It was back in 2010. Man, you guys only talked like that, dude. And Renee, I know you watch every episode of the show. You still imitate those guys because you guys only talked like that, man.
It's from Culture Shock, right?
It's culture shock. Wow, I just remembered that out of nowhere.
Because you know I once did an event with them, right? Really? But were they in character? Yeah, man. Yeah, I even went in the same car.
Were they dressed up as their characters?
Yes, from Choque de Cultura.
Were they already in character, man?
Me, the driver who took us to the event, stopped by my house. Stopped by the house of the guy who plays Murillo, the one who wears the silk outfit, and by Furlan's place, the one who does the "Is this a drone?" You know? In the car, everyone was talking. Yeah, sure, right? They were out of character. I did an event in the countryside of Sao Paulo. It was really cool.
That's awesome, man. Welcome. Shout out to Renee and Leo. Miss you guys. They need to come here, right? So where's the Memento Berador QR code to pay for Renee's ticket?
Yeah, Renee is with Rafinha now because he's little, right? That's true. But you have to bring him for an episode. Bring him here. I'll take care of Rafinha here so you can relax.
Yeah, Renee. Then you talk with us and Leo.
New parents need to give their arms a rest.
Let's go. I'll need the little mic switch here for Leo to turn on and off.
Short door.
You don't deserve anyone to talk to you.
Mute his microphone, please.
Nice. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, let's go.
The defendant then.
Do you think he should have used more magic? Man, I think only for Lupino.
Tell him, hey Harry, Expelliarmus is your signature move. It's true.
It's your signature. It even becomes a
criticism of him.
a criticism, a joke like that.
Right? Still, Harry could use spells and
The movies use that, right? Actually, the fact that they killed Hedwig kind of gave it away, right? Harry's reaction and her death. But in the book, it was because he used Expelliarmus when the Death Eaters arrived, right?
in the movie, Hedwig protected Harry. That's it.
Then in the book.
He uses Expelliarmus. Exactly. Yes.
But I think he should use more magic. And what I was saying about Sectum Sempra being an unforgivable curse too, it should be considered because to me, it's one of the most like, you're crazy.
The unforgivable curse. They don't have a counter curse, right? There's no way to reverse it. That's the problem. Okay. Got it?
Uh-huh. And you don't forgive them. Come on, it's the number 28 is here. Expelliarmus is an underrated spell. Dude, Expelliarmus is a defensive spell, right? You will
I think that actually you will...
take the wand from the opponent. I disagree.
It is overrated.
It's because it's overrated in the movies.
Because they use it for everything. It's not just for disarming. They use it to knock people down. They use it for who knows what.
Yeah, that's because the movies did that, but actually it disarms the opponent.
I like Snape speaking at the dueling club. Expelliarmus. That's it. Expelliar. No.
I said the last sentence wrong, but it was something like that.
It would be wiser to teach defensive spells.
Wow, man, Snape, Alan Rickman, he's really good.
Avada Kedavra is overrated. Come on, how so? Avada Kedavra, hey!
But I think Avada Kedavra is a spell. Okay, it's a strong one. It's a jet of green light. It's totally overpowered. And I feel like the Death Eaters even use it less than they should. Uh-huh. It's just that they value the battle. I think you need to make it clearer how much they value the duel. The duel, Bruce, wasn't just about showing up and casting Avada Kedavra on Neville there in the Department of Mysteries. Avada Kedavra on Ron.
I don't even think it's about valuing the duel. I think the thing is, killing isn't as easy as innocent people think. Like Dumbledore says, right? He says, killing isn't as easy as people.
Just because you're a Death Eater doesn't mean it's easy for you to kill.
Okay, they're Death Eaters. They're terrible people. I don't know. That's what this is. They are.
But I don't think they wanted to kill right away. You know, it's like, hey, let's make them suffer. You know what I mean?
I see in that scene in the Room of Requirement in Deathly Hallows Part 2 with the Fiend Fire, that crab or goyle, I don't remember which, they use Avada Kedavra there. And then they're totally lost, right, in life, you know? It's not like, wow, they're evil. They just shouted something because, it's more like they're not.
But there, he was terrible and wanted to kill. Man, he's bad, a bad guy.
Bad guy.
Like my grandma used to say, rotten bunch, rotten bunch. Oh, what a rotten bunch. Oh, what a rotten bunch.
All right, number 30.
Voldemort lost more because of arrogance than lack of power, but that's obvious.
It's obvious. That's an obvious statement.
Obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, it's not Voldemort. It's the meaning of the horse that walks with those blinders. With the blinders, right? It only looks forward.
Voldemort created everything himself, including the weapons and his own enemy. If he'd ignored the prophecy, none of this would have happened. He wouldn't have fallen or suffered any consequences. No, so yes, arrogance precedes the fall. It comes before the fall.
Very fair. Oh, number 31, the end of the saga is perfect. Oh. Perfect is a strong word, I think. Perfect.
It's not perfect just because it ended, right?
Yeah, so perfect is, wow, I wouldn't change absolutely anything.
I think I would add some endings for characters whose stories were left open. That's it.
You know that yesterday, shout out to Miss Walker, she had told us about the scripts, right? That you can download the scripts and everything, right? So I downloaded the script for Deathly Hallows Part 2, and it's really weird, right? Yeah, like how many differences there are. By the way, the script I read, which was from 2009, the movie was still going to start with them arriving with Harry with his face deformed at Malfoy Manor. Yeah, look at that. Part 2 was going to start that way. And then, why did I bring this up? Because in the script, Hermione says, send regards, wave to Professor Longbottom, right? It's a detail, yeah, but they cut it from the epilogue. Ted Lupin was totally left out of the epilogue, so of course we're talking about the movie adaptation here. But I think that I like the epilogue, but I think they could have done something more there too. Like in that part, something more exciting. Now the epilogue is, but I would have done it differently, just a little bit of a twist.
All right, so that's your opinion.
That's my opinion. The epilogue, wow, I literally just said that. 32, the epilogue should have been different.
The epilogue is just the epilogue. The end of the saga is the ending as a whole.
Okay, fine. That's more what I had in mind for the epilogue, but I still think the epilogue should be a little different. Yeah, I wanted something even more exciting. Yeah, like them going back to Hogwarts, I don't know, something more. Hermione graduating, coming back. Remember, she revealed that Hermione, right, goes back to...
It's just tough, because a lot of time passes.
Yeah, 19
years. So
and it could be 4 years later. Then it shows a scene, Ron there. You know everything she said in the post?
Look, he looks... You could do it. What happened in those 19 years, huh? Could you? Wow. Then man.
It would be a cooler idea than the cursed child, right? If we stop to think about it, Ron dealing with grief, yeah, helping Harry, adapting to the ministry, taking care of the family, it would be really cool.
How awesome it would be.
People criticize me because I said Aurora several times in the last video. Sorry about that, guys. My apologies. Forgive me, Father. No, it's like Anna, what's her name? Anna Abolt? Yeah, no, Anna Abolt. It's Anna Abolt. Calm down, guys. Peace in your hearts. Life is good. Are you guys nervous? No, the crowd is really aggressive, right?
I can't pronounce it, man.
Can't stand this guy saying the names wrong.
Sorry, man. Pronunciation is just a thing. It's pronunciation, dude. Pronunciation. Okay. Nothing changed.
It's number 34 here, not 33. Look, the cursed child should be considered canon. Yeah, canon is canon.
Now, whether it should be, that's not.
Should it? Shouldn't it? But it is, right? The author herself said so.
I'm of the opinion it shouldn't.
I think they should have been more honest at the time they were releasing that play. Like, I don't know, you don't need to sell it as it would be a success anyway. Regardless of whether you sell it as canon, you call it canon, right?
Right? Canon.
It's canon, it's independent, it's torture. That's how you say it, right?
And as I said,
And how is it? I almost choked, so I don't think it should either. So, all right. And 34, it really goes in that vein, right?
The series should ignore that one. It really should.
It should.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah, it's just like Ronnie Bond. Yeah.
Runs me over with a cement mixer.
No, he says. Yeah, I went to a party and I was interested in a guy. Does that mean I'm gay? It means he's in a hurry to finish the show, so I'm there. It means then he moves on to the next one, you know? Question. Then it's really good. Yeah, I saw that face.
You've never seen it?
I haven't.
Ron, but he's right there.
Is he talking? Yeah. He hosts the show, and that's the moment when he reads the questions, like the Howler moment. He reads people's questions, but he needs to finish the show quickly. And the guy tells a story. I went to a party. Yeah. I saw a guy there. I was interested. Does that mean I'm gay? He just says, it means. Then he goes to the next question. It's really good, seriously. You've never seen this one?
No, it's really good. Yeah, 35. Should the series include new scenes that don't exist in the books? Man, of course. Yeah.
Of course, for sure. We've already talked about it.
1,000,000 times.
By the way, I'm really rooting for that, and the first season is already going to prove it, right? The reason it exists, putting a bunch of stuff,
But I don't think it's really worth adding much more at this point, because we've already talked about it in several episodes here. Yes, we like it. We would like the series to add things, and
there's already a lot to add from that point of view. That's what they're going to explore in this first season. We're getting to the end.
yes, it means.
Significa. No. Then people say the video turned into shorts. Yeah.
I'm out of water, guys. My mouth is already dry.
We're already like Ron here.
Hold on. Every change in the series will be unfairly compared to the movies. I will be me.
Everything will be compared to the movies, not just the changes. The scenes themselves, which have already been adapted, will be compared, yes.
They will be compared. There are going to be tons of movie diehards.
And I'm not going to judge the movie diehards, because I think that at some moments even I will be like, man, but this scene...
But I disagree, Tiago, because one thing is you guys. I'm also going to feel nostalgic about the movie. There might be things that I think are cooler in the movie.
But people are going to use that as a weapon to keep putting things down. That's just ridiculous to me.
I agree, that's how it is for me. No, I agree. Just like it was with the trailer, right? People would put the movie scene next to the trailer scene and say it sarcastically, just saying, yeah, new footage, and then put one next to the other. You know why? Because you say in the movie it was much better, right? That happens a lot. Here at 36 here, look, not every change in the series.
No, it's 37.
I read it with the wrong emphasis. It's the same question, 37. The cast will never please everyone.
I disagree. Look, there's Snape. Everyone loved him.
What do you mean, guys?
What do you mean? Obviously, right? There's nothing in the world that's unanimous. Like, nothing is ever going to get 100% approval. Even in movies, someone disagrees with something. It's normal.
Man, you know something random that annoys me in movies? Barty Crouch explaining the rules of the Triwizard Tournament? No. The father, he...
Exactly like this. Look, by determining the determination. It's just that he was under the Imperious curse, right, Ali? He was... I can't believe it.
Alingia speak. Come on, 30. This one's good, huh? 38. Nostalgia gets in the way of part of the fandom. Yes.
It means next. Yes. No.
Totally.
But we've already talked so much about how nostalgia is a poison people are exposed to.
It can be really good, yes, obviously. We all love nostalgia. Who doesn't like to look at something and go, wow, that was so good, of course. But it definitely gets in the way of people who can't embrace the new.
I wanted that, in my life. I've had a few moments, like the first time I went to London in 2016 when I did an exchange program and everything there, right? And so, yeah, that's it, right? For me, wow, that time really left a mark on me.
It will never be the same.
And sometimes I go, it's like, thank God, right? Thank God. I've already been there for work many times, came back, went to London 5 times, all for work, in a group, and me. And yeah, sometimes it's really tricky. Nostalgia really is tricky because you think you're going to find the same thing. But my friend, I remember I went to London at a time that was right after the pandemic. It was at the end of the year. And it's surreal, right? That city, that thing that once found you was also there. The world is mine, my friend. So enjoy the first experiences because that's how it is, and never expect to have that same feeling again. Experience new feelings, right? Experience new emotions, new experiences.
The movies have aged very well, I agree. I think the movies, for the time they were made, have some very good digital effects. Bye.
Bye. Tell me about it. Better than many movies today.
Yes, exactly. I think the movies have aged well. Yes. I don't think
That they're going to be timeless, Yes, I think that in 20 years, 30 years, people will keep watching these movies just like they always have. It's like The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy.
Of course, there are some scenes where you can clearly tell the technology is dated. But even so, it's not something that gets in the way of the movie.
You know what? I don't know if this is controversial, but when I watched Star Wars for the first time, the original trilogy, the effects really bothered me. But at the time, it was the best they had. They even won an Oscar and everything. But today, you see...
Right, I turn on the saber, the thing.
God,
It looks like something from Chavez, right?
it takes fucking forever.
It looks like something from Chavez, right?
No, the battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader is their first, right? When he suffers.
They remastered it several times, changed a lot of things in Star Wars, right? And that scene where Han Solo is at the bar, and he just sticks his head out when he shoots.
No, and him stepping on Jabba's tail, have you seen that? Jabba is CGI, then Solo does this and goes down to the floor, man. I think George Lucas got really carried away with the changes. Man, imagine George Lucas with AI, dude. He would go crazy with it, man. They could redo it with AI now, the Star Wars version, with the effects he wanted to do back then. The effects, hold on.
Stop, don't talk about that crap, okay?
Come on, yeah, what's up?
No, you hit a nerve, man. These AI videos are really annoying, man. My God, dude.
In Vinny's movie, they put Vinny Jr. as a fullback in White Chicks and the blonde as Holland. Then the Japanese guy shows up. Did you see that in his chair? Nobody messes with Daddy.
I think these videos are funny.
Man.
It's funny, but I think it loses a bit of the essence of the meme. You could do that.
But don't you agree? Don't you agree that now? No, I don't know. We're going to get into a topic that I don't know if it's good to get into. It's like AI is going to become part of humor because people are starting to identify what is AI. Wow.
Then we have to put up with Morangete Abacatu from 6,742.
I don't know. Actually, I have a friend, Mariana's friend.
Wow, every time this song, these days, man, dude, have you ever sung this?
I think about 5 times on the podcast, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Seriously, be thankful.
Because when you hear it for the first time, I've never seen.
You think so?
No, I saw that crap on Twitter. No, and then I couldn't get it out.
I saw it there. I wanted to feed the hate.
Okay.
The hate inside me, it was big, and I couldn't stop watching it because the hate was like, okay, like it was consuming me, you know?
You needed to soak in the embarrassment there.
I wanted to see it so I could hate them. I wanted to say, wow, look at those bastards.
Did you get it? All right then. Yeah. Then I was at peace. Everything was fine. I was at peace. About 2 weeks went by like that. Then they put it out on the street, in this car.
In those
Sound cars.
guys who put their anger, there's another explanation, right?
You're going to try. Then they put this crap while you're already recording. Managuate, avocado, 267, 42. I've never heard of it. I just want to hit everyone in this video. No, I've never heard of it. From people, from air animals, from everyone.
I need to see. Oh my God.
I never see the next one.
That's a good one, huh? No, look, track 40. The show's soundtrack should be completely new.
I agree.
I agree, absolutely. With one exception, okay? For Hedwig's theme, who is Tutu, I think they have to pay a little tribute to her.
If it's subtle, I think it can. Look, I'll explain.
It doesn't mean I won't feel it. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of the Harry Potter soundtrack. And people think it was just John Williams, right? It wasn't. There are several composers. John Williams did the first 3 movies. Then there's Nicholas Hooper. There's Alexandre Desplat. Petro.
Patrick Doyle on Goblet of Fire.
So, it's not just one person who's there.
And Desplat is really good too.
He's really good. Wow. So, like, the Harry Potter soundtrack is really striking, really iconic. You know? Like, man, it's amazing. Really amazing.
Musically speaking, it's amazing. Yeah.
It's just that, as wonderful as this soundtrack is, I want to be surprised by the series and let the series' soundtrack enchant me. Yeah. You know? I want the series' soundtrack to enchant me. And maybe, for me, be as impactful as the movie soundtracks. Obviously, it won't be the same. It won't be the same thing. Because that's the nostalgia trap talking.
The nostalgia trap. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take the scene where they enter the Great Hall in the series. How would that scene feel with E's music exactly?
They're going to have I Got Ready in the scene. Yeah, you get it? So, it's like this. It's tough.
If there are elements that pay tribute, that's something I don't really count on, okay?
That they're going to do, not even with the main one.
I don't really count on that. I don't count on that because Hans Zimmer has already composed a Superman soundtrack for movies that John Williams worked on, and he didn't use any of his themes.
Now, only in this 2025 Superman by James Gunn do they pay tribute to the original soundtrack. Yes, but Hans Zimmer didn't. So,
I agree because the series has to be completely separate from the movies.
Completely.
I'm going to bring up number 41 here because it's very similar to this question, okay? That John Williams' music shouldn't be reused in the series. I agree. I agree as well.
I agree. John Williams is timeless, and his soundtrack belongs to the first 3 movies. And another thing.
They would have to pay his estate a huge amount if they wanted to use that same score for the series. I never wanted that to happen.
No. And another thing. I think that even money isn't the problem, Tiago.
Money isn't a problem for them. This series has a huge budget. Money isn't the problem. The problem is, they don't want to do the same thing. There are things that are similar. We saw it in the teaser. The train looks a lot like the one in the movie. Pretty much the same color. Okay, that's similar. But Hogwarts is different. Yeah, the castle is going to be different. Things are going to be different. The wands are going to be different. The uniforms are different. The crest is different. Everything is different. Because it's supposed to be the series. The movie is already done. It's already there. And that's it, you know?
By the way, Eric, put up the casting call for Ginny now while we're talking because it's really cool that at the very end they already used the little crest, the little Hogwarts crest there at the end. It's already becoming part of the series' identity. I thought that was really cool. Here, look, let's go to number 42. Hogwarts should look different in the series. I completely agree. I agree too. It's like this. Every little corner of Hogwarts is... But mainly, I think, for example, where will Hagrid's hut be? And it will be like this through all the remaining seasons.
That's right. It keeps changing, right?
And where will the main courtyard be? Where will the battle take place? And he already has to think about everything, but not in the books.
And the structure of the castle also has to be... It has to be something else, man. Because anything they do is... That's it. Why is this such a dangerous trap?
If you do the same...
Why are you doing it? If you do it differently, but it was supposed to be the same. So, it's like that. You'll never please everyone 100%. Some people listening to us or watching may disagree and believe it should be the same, and that's okay. I'm still going to think it has to be different. Me too. So that when the time comes, I won't be like, no, I didn't like it. Because, yeah.
It's not the same. The more different it is from the movies, the better, guys. That way you'll even be able to watch it without comparing so much, right? Yeah, let's go. 43, read it, 43.
The uniform should follow. He's exact.
Of the leaders.
I think there's a standard, of course, for everyone who studies in the UK or goes to school, that standard school uniform. And I think so. Look, for example, even the Christmas sweater they're making, they made it just like in the books. Now it's going to be in the series.
I honestly don't see a problem. A little upgrade to the uniforms there, like they did in the series. The ones from the movies, I don't think they're bad either, okay? I think the movie versions are really cool, each with its own identity. In the series, they stick closer to the original, So all the uniforms are the same color, right?
What actually changes is the color of the tie and the color of the accessories they use, because the robe is the same color for everyone. Right?
So, for the story, it makes sense because there are moments when Harry and Ron disguise themselves as Crabbe and Goyle. They go ask a student where it was, if she remembered where the common room was. And she says, like, no, I'm from Ravenclaw, are you crazy? Like, because it's not differentiated. So, for the story, it makes sense, but I don't see a problem if they add something visual to it, and this small detail gets changed, you know?
It's not something like, oh my god, it ruined the story.
Yeah, but their idea is to make each uniform a different color in the movies. I really like that.
Me too. I think it's cool.
It gives each house a unique identity. Yeah, let's go. Number 44. The fans complain too much about the changes. Wow, if I agree, I'm agreeing with myself because I do agree. The fans complain too much about the changes, of course, and I'm one of those fans who, back when I used to go to the movies, I complained even more. Actually, I think that's because there are changes that will never make sense to me. Sorry, it's just that
Some changes are bigger than others.
There are fans who complain about everything, even things that don't make any sense to complain about. Yeah, you know, like, wow. For example, there will be people who, in the series, will complain that it's not like the movie, and the series is following the book, not the movie. Do you know what that is? Complaining about this doesn't make sense. There are valid issues, and fans complain about those as well.
it's normal. This protectiveness Warner has toward Harry Potter nowadays, right? I think fans also had a lot of this protectionism back when the movies came out, right? They read the books, and we were so passionate, so in love with the books that we didn't want anything different. So sometimes the movies even felt like a threat to the story we loved, right? Many times they left out a lot of things, right? Still, even then,
Still on the topic of changes, the next one is that fans accept changes when they are good.
yes, I think it doesn't take long sometimes to appreciate the change itself, but I think there are some really good changes.
I think I don't know why.
Do you think the fan?
I don't think fans accept changes just because they're good. I think fans accept changes because they don't realize those were changes, since they watched the movie first. Later, when they read the book, I get it. It's there. It's different.
Yeah.
You know, why? And man, what I'm saying is this. It's based on what I've seen over years of creating content. People don't know a lot of things from the books as they really are, and they think whatever's in the movie is how it really is. You know?
That things are the way they are in the movie, so I think it's much clearer.
I think people accept. Yes, some people do accept changes. They accept good changes. But most people have no idea. They don't even realize that it's a change at all. Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with number 46. This is even going to become a topic for our podcast here, you know? The sorting hat got almost all the students right. My view is that the sorting hat doesn't make mistakes.
I also think it doesn't make mistakes.
Okay, I think the sorting hat, especially because A. Rowling has already revealed once that it has a kind of ability to predict the future, right? And I think that each house, but Peter Pettigrew and Gryffindor, come on, my friend, the hat.
It sees the potential of what the person can become. It doesn't mean the person will follow that 100% do you get it.
So, and another thing people still haven't understood, right?
Most people who don't really get into it haven't understood that the Hogwarts houses don't completely define who a person is.
Everyone who studies at Hogwarts has characteristics from all four houses, but one of them ends up being predominant in the person's personality.
It doesn't mean that someone in Gryffindor will never be a traitor, will never commit a crime, will never do something immoral.
Yes, at the same time, it doesn't mean that everyone in Slytherin will automatically become a dark wizard. At the same time, in Hufflepuff, it's not like, wow, everyone in Hufflepuff is super cool, super awesome, right? In Ravenclaw, it's not like everyone is extremely, wow, intelligent, creative, you know? That's not it. That's not it. The houses, they don't label people like that, you know?
By the way, the change of putting Albus Severus in Slytherin was also kind of a response. I think it's really cool that he was loyal to Slytherin, and it was also a response to, the whole thing itself, right? This thing about the houses, about trying to ease some of the prejudice that Harry himself sometimes had against Slytherin, right? To show him that, look, his son was in Slytherin, and that's it. Number 47. Is the magic in Harry Potter more of a soft magic system than it seems? Soft magic, this term, yeah, it has.
Like this. In fantasy, there's high magic and low magic, right? Yeah, like Harry Potter is high magic because magic is present in everything. The thing about low magic is that magic exists, but it's something hard to access, hard to do. Only specific people can do it, you know?
And Harry Potter isn't like that. In Harry Potter, magic is in everything. The wizards are there. It's part of their daily life. They do it. It's something simple. So, yeah, it's more of a high magic thing. Uh-huh. Right?
To have magic there in reality. But it's a kind of magic that the dark magics, there's something more, you know?
It's viewed more judgmentally and all, so it's something more. The magic in general is softer, okay? I'm not sure if that's what this statement means.
Turn on 49, no, 48, 48, 48.
The wizarding world works, despite its own contradictions. Yes.
Yes, but wow, that really adds to the contradiction. Yes, it exists, of course, right? We've already mentioned several contradictions of the Ministry of Magic itself, of this and that. But yes, it exists, it works, yeah.
Wouldn't these be contradictions in the story's construction?
Or contradictions within the story itself. Contradictions in the characters' stories, you know? I think it works both ways.
Because people tend to want to bring up things like, oh wow, this doesn't make sense, trying to compare it to the real world. It's not the real world.
It's the world of Harry Potter. It's a fictional world, even though the real world exists. The real one.
No, that's not what the person meant.
To say, yeah, even though the real world exists in Harry Potter. Man, so Hogwarts is a school. Wow, the students play Quidditch. Like, it's dangerous. Yeah, but for the wizards, it isn't dangerous, right? So what is it for them?
It's just a sport.
You know? Oh, wow, the students are at risk at school. Yes, but that's okay to them. It's normal. Normal.
Because the guys have a potion that makes bones grow overnight, you know? So,
what's a broken arm? Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. 40, it's 49. Is Harry Potter still the biggest phenomenon in modern fantasy? Well, I think nothing has come close since 1997, okay? I think cinematographically speaking, it's the no.
In terms of entertainment and pop culture numbers, it still is. There's no way. There's no way. You might say, no, The Lord of the Rings is better. All right, that's a matter of your own taste.
And all right, The Lord of the Rings might have a better structure than Harry Potter, might have been better written, but that doesn't mean that
people talk a lot about the world building and all, but that's it. And that's it. Okay, I agree. But I think that in terms of like everything else, I think Harry Potter is way, way above all the other series in the world. And I think that in the long run, especially now with the TV series, Harry Potter tends to maybe become the biggest franchise of all.
It's something that became mainstream, you know?
Yeah, Harry Potter has a theme park, has areas and parks all over the world. There are traveling exhibitions, you know, that go everywhere. There's a play, there's behind-the-scenes content, you know? All Harry Potter products are all the rage.
I see this rivalry a lot sometimes, right? There was a lot of this rivalry in the past and it still exists today.
No, there are still some people who try to bring this up.
Right? There's always this rivalry. But I think that even Lord of the Rings fans understand, I'm not talking about story or development, that the Harry Potter series has already surpassed it. Like, it reached the casual audience, it reaches children, it reaches adults, it reaches elderly people. It manages to connect very easily with all audiences. So I always thought that only one series was bigger than Harry Potter, which was Star Wars, right? But I think Star Wars is at a point where if they don't make some bolder rebuilding decisions and try to do something better, I think that in the long run, Harry Potter might become the biggest series maybe of all time, like in pop culture, you know?
Yeah, Harry Potter, man, the books. Every year, there's always some Harry Potter book from 1 to 7 on the bestseller list, you know? Like,
Over 600 million copies sold, audiobooks coming out all the time. There will be more. I don't know, in about 8 years, there will still be like 4 or 5 more Harry Potter areas.
No. And did you see that now they're going to make the audiobook? That full cast audiobook in Germany, right?
Is that coming to Brazil?
wow, that would be really cool. Wow, who would play Dumbledore? Miguel Falabella?
Miguel, it's from... Wow, it's Antonio Fagundes. I'd be so happy.
Antonio Fagundes.
Man, or Lima Duarte. Those guys. Lima Duarte died. I think it's like Tim Maya. No, right? He didn't die. Tim Maya. No, there's that meme where the woman says Tim Maya died.
No. Lima Duarte is alive.
Right? Yeah, and now number 50 to wrap up our super list. Wow, this is a cool series, huh? The series has the potential to surpass the movies. Yes,
Yes, it does.
it has real potential, man. I'm not saying it's lacking, you know? It has a lot of potential to surpass the movies because one of the biggest complaints from fans back when the movies were released was specifically the runtime and the things that got cut. Now we're going to have everything. We're basically going to have everything we read in the book in the series. Characters who weren't in the movies will be in the series. Iconic scenes that fans love, Dumbledore's funeral, the Gaunts, Peeves.
The race.
Everything fans have always dreamed of seeing, St. Mungo's Hospital, and so...
Man, it's not a competition. No, it's not. Get that in your head. It's not a competition. The series isn't here with the goal of surpassing the movies.
And another thing, the movies. Everything we've experienced with them will always stay with us. Do you understand? For those who live through it.
Seeing this series as a complement to the movies, I think people will enjoy it more that way, you know? That it's a complement to what the movies did. So if you're going to watch the series, see it like this. The 8 movies already exist. I'm going to watch it as a complement to those movies because the Harry Potter lore is vast and really deserves to be explored. Exactly. Man, go in with an open mind and you're really going to enjoy this new phase of the series. You will see, it's what I've always said. In 10 years, sometimes you'll regret not having enjoyed this phase of the series more.
That's right.
And that's it. We finished our list for today. I think that's it too. Great episode, guys. We talked about a lot of things in today's episode. We came up with a huge list. And I think we should do more of these like list episodes. Did you like it? Cool. Wow. I thought it was really cool. We mentioned 50 things here and managed to talk a lot about each one of them. I'm really happy with this episode. And if you guys liked it, what can people do to help out?
If you enjoyed this conversation, obviously please leave a comment below. Also share your opinions about each topic.
If there's any topic you found more controversial or if you disagree with our opinion, leave it down below in the comments. If you forgot to like the video at the beginning, give it a like now at the end on YouTube. Share this video. It's great to share the podcast with friends. Guys, Seção Reservada, your Harry Potter podcast. There's a really good time coming up for the series. So if you like podcasts, start listening to Seção Reservada as well.
That's it.
And now let's go to our Howler moment, which is always shown on the screen. Send your message and we'll read it now.
Howler moment. And our first message in today's Howler moment is from Aline Strajanelli. Me, again, haha. I'm a resin artist. How do I send a gift to Seção Reservada? Oh yeah.
Right now, we still don't have a P.O. box, but we don't, and we're not going to give out the address because it's not even ours. But, well, the idea is long-term. Let's see if by the time the series is airing, we open a P.O. box.
No, and you can, like later. Aline, send a DM on Instagram, and then I'll give you the address so you can send it. Cool, good. I'll give you my address. And we here.
Aline?
Just thank you for the kindness, okay, Aline?
These resin wands, I really admire those who make them. Vinicius Leon sent this in. Let's get Warner to notice you and invite you to be extras in the series. Let's go. If you could be in any scene, which one would you like to take part in?
I would like to be... Well, I think mine has already passed. The chance I would really like is to be at the Leaky Cauldron. Wow. When Harry arrives.
For motivation. There are also other moments at the Leaky Cauldron. You might still be in season 3.
So, to show up there at the Leaky Cauldron as a wizard, kind of off to the side, sitting at the table.
And all. Wow, that would be amazing. I think I would like to be, I don't know, in the audience at the Triwizard Tournament. Yeah, but Luna couldn't do that, right? The guy comes...
He appears among the teenagers. Did you see that 30-year-old girl on the Hogwarts Express next to Albus Severus? Wow.
No, is it a pill? That's me. Yeah, but I'd like to do a scene. Maybe a place they visit, like a diner or the Ministry. Back in the Deathly Hallows days, don't even mention it. The Ministry of Magic, man.
Juvicenti 15. Will the change in house colors have a big impact? I like the old ones, but I really want the new robe. The house colors, you mean, on the robe? The robe won't have house colors.
It's just, I think the sweater underneath.
The sweater. The only thing that's going to have a different color is the line on the sweater at the collar and the tie. The sweaters are all the same color, and the robe is also the same color.
Eric L73 sent in this question. Hugs, Cheo, and Kako. What do you guys think about just calling the seasons Harry Potter and splitting books 4, 5, and 6 into 2 seasons each? Man, when the series was announced, I didn't think they would list each season with the title of the book. So I was really surprised when that teaser came out and it was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I thought it was just going to be Harry Potter like Game of Thrones, just the name, and then season 1, season 2.
I don't see any problem with each season having the name of the books.
And what if books 4, 5, and 7 are split into 2 seasons? I'm also not really in favor of splitting a season into 2. Maybe having more episodes.
It would cause a lot of anxiety, yeah.
Maybe having more episodes and splitting them, I don't know, releasing one at the beginning of the year, another at the end, I don't know, 2 parts.
No.
I mean, part 1 and part 2, you know?
That's splitting, you know?
No. Wait, how not? How come? I mean,
What? How did I put it?
let's raise a question here, Eric. That's just my opinion.
I just wish that instead of splitting, there were more episodes. You know, more time per episode.
Okay, look at that.
I'm a calm, serene guy.
Look, it's not about wanting it. It's chill. It's all good.
Hi, everyone. I really wanted to know from you if the series is at risk of flopping. I'm afraid of that. Man.
I think it's very unlikely. It was just a teaser, man. Just so you don't have that fear in your heart. Just a teaser. Without them paying, it got over 300 million views, organic views. Twice as much. More than twice as much as the previous most successful trailer in HBO's history. So the fact is the series is going to have a huge audience. The challenge for them will be to keep that audience throughout the whole season, right? Curious people will watch the first episode. Yes, then it's about keeping them since they're the ones who make a movie's box office big, just like in theaters.
Right? And that's the thing, right? The series will be watched by people who say they won't watch it. It'll be watched by people who say they hate Harry Potter and just want to criticize it.
Because if you think that when the series comes out, it'll just be us making content about it, there will be a lot of people creating content about the series, both on the positive side and on the negative side. Just from the trailer, there were already some people making videos and inventing prejudice out of nowhere in Harry Potter. So yeah, it's going to happen. Just wait, right? It's going to happen.
Because the algorithm, people know the algorithm, exactly. Watch out for the algorithm. Because while a lot of people are freaking out, there will be people taking advantage of this algorithm, that same algorithm, to ride the wave too.
Exactly.
Domilufana. Hey guys, why is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban the favorite movie for most fans, if it's the first one to differ so much from the book? Wow, we already have a planned topic. Exactly, Domilufan, we have a topic that's going to address exactly that. Why is Prisoner of Azkaban the favorite among fans, and whether it has aged well or badly, or if other movies have aged well or badly too? We've got that covered.
Honestly, I think I'm keeping it short here so I don't go on too long because I want to talk about it in the episode. But I think it's also a lot about the bandwagon effect. It's the bandwagon effect and the algorithm.
Yeah, it's the bandwagon effect and the algorithm. People start saying Azkaban is this, Azkaban is that, tweets getting a lot of likes, everything. Over time, this created a mystique around Azkaban, but it's worth discussing this in more depth in the episode.
Yasmin Lovegood. Hi, Tiago and Kako. Say hi to Yasmin.
Yasmin?
My question is, do you guys watch the twins cooking show? I love it.
I watched the first season.
I watched the first season too.
Really cool. I love this kind of show, man. Yeah.
I watched the first one. I have a problem with those Harry Potter shows because they're too stiff. They're very scripted.
Very much so. I realized as a Harry Potter content creator that in the end, if that's what they want, hey, it's going to be the way they want it. But it's a shame.
Because it's a shame.
They lose charisma, they lose opportunities, spontaneity, they lose a lot of things. But each company has its own way. What I mean is this, right? Of working, of having their own shows. In the case of Harry Potter, that quiz show was also really good.
The cake show. I actually think it's cool because of Sim.
And the twins are more charismatic, right? That's it.
Yeah, but I still think it's kind of stiff.
Sometimes I even doubt how good the pastry chefs are. They seem like actors, but they're actually very good. It's just so stiff that it seems like they're hired actors and that they don't even... And in the end, there's only cake.
And they really follow the same script there, you know? Yeah, they follow a script there. A lot. That's undeniable, you can tell. And I don't know if they try to make it sound natural, but it doesn't, you know?
That was today's Momento Berador. If you want to send us your message, talk to us. The QR code is on the screen. Just scan it off your TV with your phone and send us your message. Any final thoughts on today's episode, my friend? Thanks for joining another Seção Reservada. This one airs on Caldeirão Furado. The next will be on Potter Observatory. Subscribe to both channels.
Thanks. Always collaborating.
That's right. We're in this together.
Thanks.